So I'm continuing to work on this mending project. I've stitched up one side. This is just a temporary holding of the fabric together so that I can actually do the patchwork. So, because if you leave it as holes like this and try to put a patch over top, the fabric is going to be misshapen and then the patch is going to look really unprofessionally done. So rather than using pins, I'm just temporarily, well, these stitches will stay in place. I'm not going to take them out, but it's a temporary fix to put the pieces of fabric back together enough that I can do the patchwork. So I'm curious about your relationship with textiles in your life. That's clothing, towels and cloths, bedding, upholstery, carpets, you know, all the different kinds of textiles. How many of those textiles have been handed down to you from maybe your parents or even your grandparents, or even further back? But how many textiles do you have in your household, in your keeping, that are multiple generations old? How many textiles in your keeping do you have that are from your childhood? How many clothes do you have that are more than 10 years old? Or at least 10 years old? This sweater that I'm wearing just went through a major repair over the past month. This is, I don't know, I've probably had this for about a couple of decades now. It's cotton and I love it. I love cotton. And anyway, this part of the sleeve was completely gone and all of the stitches were starting to unravel. So I re-crocheted a new piece for it. Same thing with on the other side. And then the bottom of it was starting to fray. And this was so worn that it was ready to fall apart. And I didn't want to lose all the stitches. So I like mending with colors you can see. I like doing visible mending. However, some people don't like things looking overly patched up or mended. So this project I'm doing for the person who owns these jeans, this one will be visible, but let's say not too loud, if I could say it that way. Anyway, when you think about textiles and the fast textile industry and fast fashion, you know, the amount of waste that is produced from the textile industry, fast textile industry, is astounding. Like the amount of waste collectively across the world that is from textiles would boggle your mind. You know, landfills that are predominantly textile, that are the size of mountains, that take up a huge swath of land space. And a lot of those textiles are made out of unnatural, I should say, they're still natural, but they're made out of plastics. They've been human-made fibers as opposed to plant fibers or animal fibers. And, it's true, plant fiber and animal fiber, depending on how it's produced, can also be quite damaging. However, it does degrade in a different way, and it calls us to take care of the textile in a different way. When we appreciate what it takes to create a fiber, to create a thread, a yarn, to do the actual weaving, we then have a different appreciation for the fabric that is created and a different understanding of what it means to take care of that fabric. So learning how to mend and being at peace with mending allows us to be responsible, to act with care, not just toward the items, but also the makers, the people who've made them, the resources that go into them. It has us think about our relationship with the world in a very different way.